Good evening, everybody, here at Sailor Nation Sports Network. I'm Joe Kanukin, and we are at a historic point in the soccer program for the Varsity boys, a place that we've never been before in the history of the school. We are at the semifinals, the playoffs, the regional finals for the state championship, and we're here at Grand Ledge, and to my right are two of the most amazing people. We're missing one tonight, Mr. Nick Davros. He's doing some football duties. But we've got Mr. Steve DeLong, and again filling in, soccer extraordinaire expert, Mr. Billy Malaziotis. Gentlemen, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
Yeah, glad to be here. This is awesome.
So, you guys, Steve, I know your preparation is never to be outdone, that's for sure. And Bill, you have the history. You have a lot of the history on these kids. You have a lot of the history on the program. We're going to have fun tonight, being somewhere we've never been before in the history of this program.
Oh, yeah, this
you
is
guys
going to be
agree?
a doozy.
Yep, this is going to be fun. So, Steve, let's take advantage of some of that preparation that you put together here. Tell us what we know about Traverse City West tonight.
So, well, I've in the past 24 hours, I've come to learn quite a bit about Traverse City West. Their record is 21-2, so they have one loss and two ties on the season, and their only loss of the season came in their first game of the season. So it's been a long time, August 22nd, as a matter of fact, since they last lost. They have 11 shutouts on the season. 4 of the last 6 opponents they've shut out. And currently, and you were talking a little bit beforehand, I don't necessarily know how you compare teams across states, but Max Prep Sports, which is a pretty popular site for high school sports, has Traverse City West ranked number 17th in the nation. So
wow.
Pretty impressive. Certainly Mona Shores is going to have their job cut out for them, but heck, we're to this point, and I think, a couple breaks here and there, play a solid game, you never know what's going to happen.
So this is the real deal. I mean, we're talking about this is the equivalent of the playoff game that Sailors had before the true finals. We're talking about the name escapes me. Who was it that they played at the semifinals?
Forest Hills, Farmington Hills.
No, not Farmington Hills. Boy, I don't even know why it's escaping me now.
Are we talking
last year? Oh, my goodness. Well,
Walled Lake Western.
Walled Lake Western. Thank you. Jeez, oh, Pete, that was
It's
escaping.
okay.
You're
in soccer mode, Joe.
I am. I'm getting out of that. I'm trying to stay into this. You're absolutely right. And it's keeping the Traverse City West whole thing going, and absolutely. But this is really that game. This is the game that I would say that most people are predicting that the Sailors go down. And based upon the record of Traverse City West and based upon the opponents that they've dismantled really going into this game here, the regional finals. Now, Bill, you can tell me a little bit about the history of this program, and I had the opportunity to sit in one of your pump-up speeches that you gave before last Tuesday's game. And I tell you what, I was inspired, and all I was doing was leading the parade out to Seminole Road. But you mentioned a couple of things in there that this team has been now to they haven't never been past where they were last.
This is the farthest Mona Shores has ever been.
So you see this as this is the history-making step now, and every single step after this is going towards that next step of history.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. If they can win tonight, they will have cemented their place in Mona Shores' history in terms of soccer.
Sure. You had another opportunity this time to give him another speech. What did you tell him? Again, listening to the speech that you gave on Tuesday before they left, how could you have possibly motivated them even more for this game? What did you tell him?
Well, tonight was all about teammates.
And you're absolutely right. We'll go into that in a little bit here. We're going to pause just a little bit here for the national anthem. And as we do with every contest, finish it up with a beautiful rendition of the national anthem. At this point now, we're going to hear about some of the players, but let's talk a little bit about some of the adversity that the Sailors have faced over the week as it pertains to the health of the team. Bill, you have a little bit of the inside track on that as well. So does Steve. Tell us about Tuesday's game and what we ended up having to face for Tuesday's semifinals, the regional semifinals.
Well, Tuesday's game, flat out, was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen out of a soccer team, and I've been around high school soccer all my life. And Steve can back me up here. We had a good 5 or 6 starters out of the game. There wasn't some COVID-19 worries, and some of the kids were within close contact of a COVID-19, so they had to be quarantined and weren't allowed around the team. Coach brought up a lot of JV players just to fill in some spots, some kids that had never played a varsity game in their lives, and somehow to pull out that win over a strong team. My goodness.
That's a lot of motivation for coming into Thursday as well.
Absolutely.
So, one of the things that I've heard a lot of people wonder, if schools will try to fudge stuff, if they get this far into the playoffs, are they going to try to squeak somebody in just because it's a good player or anything like that? Mona Shores is not. Mona Shores plays it strictly by the rules, and they pulled a lot of good players off of that team for last Tuesday's game. Tuesday, and they stepped up. The next man up mentality for the sports within Mona Shores, they absolutely came through.
Absolutely, and when you have some electrifying players, Hayden Yaros, for example, is electrifying as a toaster in a hot tub.
Yeah.
They were playing with a backup goalie, though. They were playing with most of the backup defense and almost all backup midfield. So what they were able to accomplish, and that was, to that point, the biggest win in Mona Shores history.
And to do it at that level, absolutely right.
And you talk about Yaros, so we have those players out, but then clearly the leading goal scorer, probably the leader of the team, steps up and scores 2 goals. So he took it upon himself and stepped up. And Aiden Anderson, who hasn't gotten a ton of playing time this season, stepped up and had a goal and an assist from Alex Eckerman. So some seniors really stepping it up and helping lead the team to this point and to where we are tonight.
Absolutely.
So where are we at now as far as the COVID protocol, as far as this game compared to Tuesday? Who did we get back?
So good news, very good news. So we had 6 out for the last game. We actually get 2 back tonight. Goalie Keegan DeKuyper makes a return, as well as, and I know we've talked about this, I think one of the most important people to this team, Ethan Brown. The way that Ethan and Alex Eckerman, the midfielders, work the field and really shut down the other team. So the really 2 important pieces are back. Unfortunately, the others are not back yet, but certainly good news for Mona Shores going forward tonight.
Yeah, and Ethan Brown is like the heart and soul of the team. He's the heartbeat, and Keegan DeKuyper being an all-state candidate himself. So that's a big plus.
So knowing that those guys are back really is, like you mentioned, a big plus. I'm sure that plays into your keys to the game, Steve. Why don't we go over your keys to the game for each one of these teams?
So for Mona Shores, I think the biggest key is to get up early to get some confidence. I think if they can get up early, feel that momentum carry on that's been carrying off through districts, through the other night, I think that's extremely important. And I think they have to play their game, which is a defensive-minded game. They have to control the middle of the field and really shut down that aspect of it. For Traverse City West, I've done quite a bit of research for this, and there's no doubt they want to test Mona Shores early and get shots on goal. I think, Keegan, although he's a quality goaltender, having been out for a game, sometimes, you can be a little rusty just after one game out. So I think they want to test. And researching Traverse City West, one of their goals is to score within the first 10 minutes of the game. That's one of their team goals that they have. And so far this year, they've done it 12 times out of 23, scoring the first 10 minutes. So
that's pretty amazing.
And then and next, play their game, which is definitely an offensive-minded game. They have scored a ton of goals this season, and they're very lethal. So really what it comes down to is strength versus strength. I think defense for the Sailors and offense for the Titans of Traverse City West.
Well, and no doubt, based upon those keys and the stats that we have for both of these teams, this is a fireworks show like 4th of July that we're about ready to watch, and I'm excited to be here. So we also like to thank all of the Sailor Nation Sports Network fans that are joining us, but equally as well, love to be able to thank the Traverse City West fans that weren't able to make this trip, that aren't able to get tickets in this time of limited spectatorship. Sailor Nation Sports Network is proud to be able to bring this game to you live. And it's this crew right here, Kim and Codis on the camera as usual, our eye in the sky, and you two in the booth with me. It's going to be a great night, and I can't wait to get started. We're at center of the field right now. It looks like Traverse City West is going to be receiving the ball. Is that correct? Did they get that? I think it's Shores' ball first.
Yeah, it looks like Shores has the kickoff.
So Shores has the kickoff, and here we get ready to go.
And something we haven't mentioned yet is that Traverse City West was the Division I runner-up last year. Yeah. So, you know, they have a little bit of experience. Sometimes that matters, sometimes it doesn't. But once, you know, the ball's kicked here, all that goes out the window, I think. So. And
this is the game about heart right here. And I tell you, I don't think anybody could have summed it up better than Mr. Malaziotis and what we've seen this week. So.
Well,
and we're underway.
Let me tell you, boys, the Traverse City West team has a lot of guys that can shoot laser beams. I mean, Keegan DeKuyper's not playing goalie today. He's catching lasers.
Yes.
Traverse City West has full license the coach gives them full license to shoot away from 25 and out. Mm-hmm. Green light all the way, so be ready for an exciting game.
So far, it looks like they're kind of testing each other to see where everything's at. Nothing really spectacular at this point.
Traverse City West is a ball control team. They're not a dump and chase type of team. They really want to play it to each other's feet. So that'll be interesting to see if Mona Shores can take them out of their game a little bit there.
And they seem pretty tall.
They do.
I'd like to get any feedback that we might be able to get from our viewership out there as far as quality of the sound or any problems that you may be having. Some of them may be on our side, some of them may be somewhere else. We're always looking for feedback to improve our broadcasts, so keep them coming. Shore's looking to clear it, bringing it to midfield. A little bit of a dump and chase here.
Yep, and right away that's Ethan Brown, one of the guys that we just got back. You know, look to him because he's on a full rest.
Yes.
At the center midfield, that's really important. You got to be forward, backward, left, right, constantly.
That's right. You're in the center. You're playing the entire field.
Yeah.
Stopped by Jordan DeKuyper. Oh.
Look here.
Ball.
Oh, offsides determined.
Wow.
That was close. If there was anything in it, it was close.
So another thing I'm kind of interested to see, you know, obviously they know who Hayden Yaros is, so I'm interested to see how the defender. Interesting. Notice the first time it seemed like they had 4 back.
Yeah, they're tracking him for sure. And that, you know, it's interesting to see how Coach Apostles is going to have Hayden play today. He might be, you know, trying to be a decoy and bring a couple of guys out of the picture.
Yep.
You know, as a former coach, Bill, you know, we talk about a lot of these types of matchups like this being a chess match. How much of this is a chess match for Apostle today?
Oh, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. I told him before the regional semifinal that, oh, absolutely. Look at this hustle here. I told him before the semifinal match that the semifinal game was all on him. It was all about coaching. From then on, it'll be the passion of the boys.
Yeah, there you go.
And you're going to see a lot of heart today out of both teams. I mean, nobody wants to lose this. They are going to give everything.
Yeah, they'll definitely leave it all on the field, that's for sure.
Threatening ball here. DeKuyper, nothing in it. They're looking for that little slot pass, though, and if Shore's defense doesn't tighten up, you know.
Just one little inch off.
Yeah.
They don't keep up with them.
But, man, if you know, as a fan of Mona Shores, it feels good to have old Keegan back there.
Sure does. And there's no doubt at that position, the experience of knowing when to go out and attack the ball versus staying back in the net. And, you know, a slight bit of hesitation one way or the other can be not a good move by a goalie. So it's good to know that he's so decisive back there.
That's right. And the decisiveness is really the factor because you've got to know what your own limitations are if you're going to employ something like that.
But, you know, in the same breath, I want to take my hats off to his backup, Fish, that in the last game. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, played well, especially when he needed to.
Talk about nerves.
Yeah.
Oh, threatening ball here. Not much in it.
Little body shot to the TC West player there, looking for a call, but nothing on it.
If they're shoulder to shoulder, it's all good.
Yep. He's still not going to take a look for it.
Brown now with open time in the middle, looking to switch. Is that Diego on the far side?
It is hard to see up here, by the way, everyone, just so we're quite a ways
You
away
guys have
from
a
the
better
field.
look than what we do.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And 35-29 and counting here in the first half of the regional finals. Sailors playing against TC West here.
Now, guys, I promised my fellow Mona Shores alumni if they wanted a shout out, all they had to do was comment, and I will definitely
Comment
shout
away,
them
and
out.
we'll definitely give some shout outs, that's for sure. Love to hear where people are watching from. I know we've got a lot of dedicated soccer fans that are watching right now. Could take advantage of that side. No goal.
Again to
Good-
Brown looking to deal here.
Good defense by Traverse City. And they haven't been able to push past, well, we'll call it the 20-yard line. It's easy for us to call it.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to push past the 20-yard line yet. Some pretty shut down defense right now by TC.
But I tell you, boys, if their previous games for Mona Shores is anything to go off of, they are a counterpuncher.
Yeah.
True.
And I think these first 10 minutes are key. If that's one of the team goals for Traverse City West is to try and score in the first 10 minutes, and they've done that 12 or 23 times this year.
Absolutely.
You know, that's a win for Mona Shores if we can make it through here the next 4 minutes.
5v1. Let's see what the guys got. Taken down.
Gonna take that.
Tripping call about the 30-yard line.
So first penalty of the game.
And for the folks at
call.
home, just remember the 30-yard line is about 45 yards out. Is that right, boys?
Yep, correct. So take into account the end zone there. And the goals for this, there was a couple of questions. You know, how does a soccer field compare to a football field? We're on Grand Ledge's football field here. And it's obviously soccer field is a little bit bigger than that. So they take every inch that they can of this football field, including the end zones, sidelines, and everything else. So you guys see the sidelines that would typically be a football sidelines. You have to look a little bit further out, and there's a yellow line all the way
Dangerous ball.
to the end. That would be the out of bounds for soccer.
Mona Shores has to reduce any kind of turnovers in their defending third here. Traverse City West looking extremely poised right now. Like a team that's been here before, because quite frankly, they were.
have.
Yeah, just last year.
And, you know, we talked about them, I mentioned losing in the finals last year. They actually went to overtime and lost 4-1 in the shootout. So, I mean, they were close.
Got a shout out to Mr. Michael Poland, father of the legendary Dima Poland.
Yes.
Mr. Nick Coffin, I think he was class of '96. If he slide tackle, he would take the whole field. And Kieran O'Brien over from the east side of the state watching.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on our broadcast here at Sailor Nation Sports. Now we're going to go take a look at the YouTube side of this. Class of 2018 watching from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Trevor Versailles.
Oh, Trevor, what an animal he was. Great player. Got
Clear. Yarrow's coming to the ball. That was great.
Dakota Jones watching. Tim Mendona, one of the alumni watching down from Florida.
Dakota's one of my former students at Reese Puffer.
You know, we have Teresa Dunson on there too, and she's watched our football. I mean, literally every broadcast that we've ever
She
done.
might be one of the bigger Sailor
That is
Nation
Dan.
fans.
That is Dan Vandermeij's daughter, and she's been a fantastic supporter of ours, willing to help out with various different things. Great shout out to our great friend Teresa. Thank you very much.
Shore's now trying to get out of the defensive third. Zambrano bringing it up the side. Not much help in front of him, though. And I see Joel DeWeird watching. He's a Mona Shores record holder. I don't know if they're the records you want, though. I think it was most fouls and most yellow cards. Just
See,
kidding, Joel.
That's
I love
why.
you.
That's why we have you here, Bill, is
Yeah.
to add that dimension, that depth.
No, Joel was great. His entire family played for the Mona Shores Sailors.
So, Steve, one of those keys to the game that you were talking about, that first 10 minutes in the first half, we're coming up on that.
Yes. That'd be a huge win. That'd be a confidence builder.
We're inside 31 minutes now in the first half of play, still 0-0 here. Grand Ledge, this is a beautiful field, and I hope someday, the football field can see this type of playing surface in the future. This would be pretty spectacular.
And I'll tell you what, those apartments across the street have a great view of games. Holy cow.
Do. I remember being here 2 years ago for the state playoff for football, and we asked the athletic director.
This is dangerous here. Good clear.
And he said that during the football games, you'll see them sit out there and watch the games.
Bet. Yeah, good place to have a pop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shore's not looking to counter a bit.
Yep, midfield moving the ball forward, but taking away. That defense
Yaros
is
covered by 4 guys, but, you got to still believe on him from there.
Keegan coming up and taking that ball away.
Great play.
Again, that decision-making is pretty certain for Keegan. He doesn't make too many errors on judgment.
TC looking to build an attack here. Jordan DeKuyper with some stout D. And unfortunately,
that's an unfortunate goal. Let's take a look at this on the Lake Michigan Insurance instant replay. The goal not in our favor, but we'll take a look. So it's 1-0 here. Sailors are trailing, and that's not where we wanted to be. And I wanted to point out that was just outside of the 10 minutes.
But Sailor Nation out there, don't fret. We were down 2-0 last game with less starters.
Did not. So the Sailors working from behind at this moment with 29-22 left. 1-0. Nice cross.
Great ball by Vanderploeg.
I think he got a handball there, accidentally hit him in the arm.
Well, that was a nice cross.
See Kevin Deltoff.
Detloff, yeah.
Yeah, he's. I think he might have been one of my dad's first classes there when my dad coached. You probably had a good coach there, Kevin.
Kevin graduating 3 years before his brother Brian. Brian graduated with me. A lot of debt loss came through the Sailor country.
Yep. Some still there now.
That's true.
A foul called here. I'm not sure there was that much in that.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, guys, out here from around the 20-yard stripe, the football 20-yard stripe, TC is very dangerous. There's 3 or 4 players that are fully capable of sniping.
This is where Keegan will make his money, that's for sure.
So this is Colin Blackport kicking. He had a goal the other night against Okemos in their 4-0 win to get to advance to play Mona Shores here tonight.
Wall set pretty good. The scouting report on TC says that most of their free kicks will look for a goal or a head on the back post. Shores does much the same.
15, Caleb Nowak. Taking field for the Sailors, number 6, Aiden Anderson.
Aiden Anderson subbed in.
He had a big goal the other night. Aiden did.
Those that are just joining Sailor Nation Sports Network, welcome. Our regional finals broadcast, Mona Shores against Traverse City West.
And it looks like Mona Shores is trying to establish some overlapping runs on the outside here. I'd look for more of that tonight out of Mona Shores. I think they're going to do a lot of that. Big throw.
And the other thing to remember, it's only 1-0. Shores has to still maintain their game plan, work it, don't panic, tons of time left. Just continue to play the game and work the field.
You know, with so little stoppages for a coach to talk to a player, if typically, especially in these late playoff games, if the score is within one, anything can happen in the second half. The coaches get to halftime to make their adjustments, talk to their players, and who knows.
We're on the YouTube feed. Jason Fisher, class of '92.
Oh, legend.
Yeah. He's actually listening as he's coaching his U13 boys Storm team.
See what I mean?
This
Absolute
is fantastic.
legend.
So, welcome aboard, Jason.
Kevin played for Kimball and Plickta, two of the best coaches of all times.
So we're 25-50 and counting, 1-0 TC West, currently holding the lead.
I always find it interesting. It doesn't matter whether it's soccer or basketball, but another adjustment the players have to, is how is the referee going to call the game? The other night it was a pretty physical game and lots of emotions and lots of trips and things like that. And trying to get used to what the calls are going to be tonight too is a big part of it.
And like I think I said last time, some refs let something more go than others. Soccer is kind of like that, but you want to see consistency out of the referee.
Yeah, that's really. If you're calling it one way, you got to call it the other. That's
dangerous here out of TC West, building an attack. Nothing to trouble Keegan de Kuiper. Nothing to trouble him.
You know, I have to go back to your as electric as a toaster in a bathtub. That was one of the many you've got ready for tonight.
Oh, I've got ready, boy. This is a big game. Hey guys, let's think about this year for Mona Shore soccer history. It's the first year in our new stadium.
Yep.
We recently lost both of our first founding coaches.
That's true.
And now we're farther than ever.
Nice
and Brownie is in.
Oh!
No call.
We got an injured player down. He took a major header on that
That's
one.
Ethan Brown. If it's an injury, it's...
He's getting up and he's moving. He's obviously feeling that one, that's for sure.
Ref letting him play on the outside. TC West is not ready for it.
Good shot. Looking for a header
Floater
there,
to
but
the
just
backside.
floated it too far. So a little bit of push here for Sailors. Boy, I tell you what, an even up goal right here would put everything right back into perspective. And I think it would remind Traverse City West that the Sailors are truly here to play.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to play with heart. So.
But as much as it's 1-0, don't forget, these guys came back from 2-0.
That's true.
Last game.
Yeah,
they know how to do it.
They do.
With less players. What an interesting dynamic in the back with both the Kuipers playing in front of each other. Yeah,
that's
awesome.
Great. Yes.
Steve, I know you interviewed Keegan, correct?
Yes.
I can't remember. Did you get a chance to ask him if there was any jawing back and forth?
I did. No, I can't believe.
Brother?
No, I can't believe I didn't do that. But I think we said last broadcast, I'm pretty sure that Keegan's going to get the last word in. That's just my gut feeling, knowing the two of them pretty well. Keegan's just going to tell him how it is, and Jordan's going to go with it for now.
We got the class of 03, Joe Reynolds watching. Thank you for joining us on the YouTube side of stuff.
Joe Reynolds still a fantastic player, even at this age. You heard me, Joe.
And it has been interesting to watch Traverse City West because definitely they are a ball control team. They want to play it to the feet like we talked about at the beginning. It's just, it's interesting to watch how different teams play, but that fact has held true so far.
And being a ball control team, you look at that floater that just went just a little bit too far, or that breakaway that goalie came out and slide tackled on. Those are opportunities that we need to be able to have, and we need to make them count.
Boy, the last 10 minutes or so, TC West is really knocking on our 18 here.
They are. This is a dangerous one.
Goal.
Oh man, what a shot.
What a shot. Holy cow.
It's all going back to our instant replay here. Boy, I'll tell you what.
And Bill, you said it right before that goal.
They've been knocking and knocking.
Yep.
But you know what I said also 5 minutes ago? That
They
we
came
were
back
down
to do
2-0 before. Don't you sleep on this team.
No,
guys.
nobody does. And honestly, you know, you talked about the heart that they had and with the win that they had with the players that they were missing last Tuesday. They will play to the last whistle of this game. There's no doubt in my mind. It doesn't matter what the score is. They're going to continue to try and make this their game. 21:56 left, 2-0 Traverse City West up.
Traverse City controlling the center of the field. We need to find a way to get more pressure on their midfielders. They're coming through too easy. My cousin Bill Malazziota saying, let's go. Class of 94, I believe. I know he's got this on the big screen at the house right now.
That's awesome. We like it when they have it on the big screen.
Traverse City with a big throw in.
Oh!
And another goal.
Jeez.
Defense has to be a little bit more sharp on marking these men.
Let's go to the latest Lake Michigan Insurance Instant Replay. And again, you mentioned the throw-in being the key here. Is a huge throw-in.
City West, 13, Tony Gallagher.
And it was a big screen in front of Keegan DeKuyper by our own players. They were set up to provide him some defense, but I think they took his sight line away.
And really, Gallegos is one that Shores knew about. He was in the papers. He scored 2 goals in their semifinals.
Yep.
Gallegos, excuse me. With a name like mine, I don't like to mispronounce names.
But you expect it to be.
Yeah.
That's right. Kanukin's not much better. So 3-0 here. Just over halfway through the first half of play here in Grand Ledge.
And quite honestly, there's a big difference between 3-0 and 2-0. But, but there's a lot of time left.
You know how you climb out of a hole like that?
1 goal.
1 goal at a time. That's right.
1 goal this half, and I'll have a lot of heart. But we've got to start controlling the midfield.
Yes. But they have some amazing speed in the center of that field to move it up, don't they?
Yeah, their entire starting 11 is quality. You can tell from the first 3 minutes of the game. Shore's now able to work it a little bit, but they're missing that 4th or 5th pass. Got to string more together.
We've seen that a couple of times on other games that we watched where that stringing those passes together to get it upfield is sometimes broken up. When they have it, it's amazing to watch with them put that ball in position.
Well, it's prettier.
Yes.
But you know what? They seem to win without stringing them all together.
It's true. They find ways to do it. But we talk about that ball control. How do you stop TC from scoring? Keep the ball away from them.
Yeah.
That's one way to do it. That's the second half of that game, really.
Big shot here.
Oh, boy.
Nice save.
Save by Keegan. And that's what I was talking about, boys. They have license to shoot from anywhere. And they have 4 or 5 shooters that can certainly take them for 25, 30 out.
Taking a look at it on the replay here. Shot from about the 25-yard line, which is about 40 yards out. So
the thing is, if the ball doesn't have a lot of dip or swerve or movement in it, I think Keegan is always going to be equal to it from that range. He's a wall.
Oh, that was great.
So Traverse City and Mona Shores have one common opponent this year, and that was Grand Haven. And they actually, each team beat Grand Haven 2-1, so that was the only common opponent, but for perspective a little bit.
Where in the season? Early on, late, close together for these teams? I asked you a tough question.
Well, while Steve's looking that up, I'll just mention, if you look at their records, TC has had a lot more games than Mona Shores.
Sure they have, yeah.
They must have not, got off earlier up there for COVID and didn't have any cancellations due to COVID-related things.
So, Coach, how much does that play into this, being able to have that many more games under your belt?
I mean, they're a little bit more cohesive. They're a little bit more tighter as a team. Their tactics are a little bit tighter, but theoretically, Shore should be a little bit more rested.
True.
A little bit fresher. There's good and bad to all.
To answer your question, Mona Shores played Grand Haven on September 19th, and Traverse City played them on October 3rd, so a couple weeks apart.
All right. You always look for what might have given a difference in advantage, whether it was that additional cohesiveness or. Oh boy, I'll tell you what, that was a good save by the goalie. That was another good decision making to come out.
Like Steve was saying that in the pre-broadcast, Traverse City's last loss was, I think, August 22nd.
August 22nd.
I'm not even sure if Shores was playing then.
No.
I think we were playing into the next month.
Our first game, September 8th.
See?
One of the viewers on here thought maybe there was another common opponent in Holland.
I think Traverse City West played Holland Christian. I could be wrong, but I think it was Holland Christian.
Yep, that could be the difference. Thanks, James Marshall, keeping us on our toes with our data and
making me work over here.
Making Steve work.
So
we're putting that preparation to test over here. And you're passing.
Yeah.
You're passing that test. Absolutely passing that test. Joining us in the booth here real quick, just kind of walking through, I'm sure, is Mr. Todd Conrad, athletic director extraordinaire. Thanks for stopping in here. Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
You're a busy guy these days, huh, Todd? Fall sports just kicking butt.
So Keith Wilkes just tuning in. Is there a score? You can always catch the score down in the bottom left-hand corner. It's 0-3, unfortunately. TC is ahead here, TC West. And we've got about 16 minutes left in the first half.
Shoot it, Zambrano. Yep, got to put some on frame and test this goalie out a little bit.
Yeah, and really, shots on goal, I mean, obviously you don't want just a bunch of random shots anywhere, but certainly we got to test them.
And if we're crashing in a game like this, anything on goal is worthwhile.
Sure.
Was that our first shot on goal?
No, we had a couple of them. So, well, at least one more, which is that floater that kind of went up to the center. Are we going to give that to Traverse City on that?
To the dismay of some fans in front of us. Still, Traverse City coming through that midfield pretty easy without much.
Yeah.
And you have that ability to move through the center like that.
It's too easy.
What it ends up doing is it takes your scoring chances and pulls them back to try to fill that with defense. So you lose a little bit of that steam once you get the ball up forward. They've got to be able to control that midfield.
Without pressuring the opposing midfield will just pick you apart with passes.
Mm-hmm. Especially against a ball control team.
Oh,
like
absolutely. Luis Zambrano giving everything he's got right now to try to make something happen. Yarrow's position on the far side of the field. Aiden Anderson, is it in the middle?
Yep. Eckerman.
But guys, we have 4 green jerseys in the middle, not much white coming up to crash. Everybody's hanging around the 18 looking for that pop shot, and TC able to barely clear it out. Let's see if Shores can knock on the door here a little bit. Unlucky there.
Look at that. You're right. I tell you, that right there, that's a little bit of a dump and chase, but still you're moving it through that midfield with no Shores control.
Yeah.
And that was being opportunistic. I mean, they saw the opportunity. There was only 2 deep, and the Traverse City West guy was making a run. So.
And I'm not familiar with Traverse City's style of play, but with a 3-goal lead, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't leave plenty of guys back on D and just be happy with kicking it out, which could give us a spark.
You're looking at 5 back right now to our 2.
$13:20 left in the half.
3-0 Traverse City West. Well, this has definitely been a trying half for the Sailors here. It'd be enough of a spark to keep things alive if we could at least poke one in here for the first half of play.
Well, boys, with this team, as much as they love dramatics, it wouldn't be any other way, really.
That's true. That's true. Made for TV.
I don't even know what they
made
would
for
do
TV
if they went up
finish,
a couple
yeah.
goals here.
Made for TV finish.
Oh, yeah.
Made for Sailor Nation sports finish, for sure.
Wow.
Big kick
What
here,
a
dangerous
ball.
coming in. Yarrow's turning his man, but unable to hold it.
And just a step slow, you know. Just we're just a step slow right now.
I think that's because Traverse City is keeping us on our heels. They've got a constant push right now, and they haven't really given up on that at all.
Well, don't forget, guys, Traverse City beat their last opponent by 4 goals and could probably, I don't want to say sit back for a little bit, but they certainly didn't have to give everything they ever had in their being the last few minutes.
Yep, absolutely.
And Shores was the complete opposite. Some of those boys could have been carried off the field.
I saw the statistic today, and for some reason I didn't take it, but Traverse City scored, I believe it was 99 goals or something like that on the season and given up like 20.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, by contrast, we've scored 49 on the year. Now, they've had a few more games, but 50 goal difference.
How many total games has Sailors played this year?
I believe we're 15-3-1. So 19.
It got to be.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
They're close to double. Then would it be?
So Traverse City.
Not double.
Traverse City's played 23 games.
Okay, all right, disregard. I was thinking that they played more. Yeah, so a few more games.
Not 50 more goals, though. That's a lot.
Yeah, right.
And really what's impressive when you look at that is that not only is Traverse City West scoring goals, but they're preventing goals.
Right.
That's a lethal combination, which is obviously why they were runner-ups last year in Division I.
Now, from the regional side of stuff, advancing from here, whoever comes out of this, what are the other teams down the road that either one of these teams are going to be facing?
So the winner of this game plays the winner of New Baltimore, Anchor Bay, and Troy Athens. So that would be our bracket. And then on the other side, Matawan and Saline play tonight, and Detroit Catholic Central and Berkeley. So,
gotcha.
Saline and Troy Athens, perennial powerhouses, in it every year.
I feel like Saline's good at a lot of sports.
Yes.
So.
Hey, you know who else is? Rockford.
True.
Nice pass, and look at them just again eating up that midfield like it's their job.
Coach is definitely going to have some adjustments to make at halftime here.
Speaking of halftime, we're 9:52 here left in the first half. 3-0 TC up on the Sailors.
Jordan DeKuyper playing with a lot of heart over there.
You know, you look at it from the standpoint of what do you say to a team if you go in, you go in down 3-0. I think the first thing that I say is if they can score 3, we can score 3.
Oh, definitely.
That's just the way that it is, you know.
And specifically with this team, you tell them, look, we went into the last halftime down 2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, down also. And we got 2 quick goals in the opening of the second half to seal the deal. We've done it before, and we can do it again.
And you have nothing to hold back for.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah. Leave it all on the field.
Nothing. Wouldn't say they've had of the 3 goals, none of them were cheap goals. I mean, maybe the first one was a little, but I mean.
No, there was quality goals.
It's not like you can look back and go, oh, Geez,
no, and nothing for a Shores fan to be upset about either. No, nothing dirty, nothing. So far, it's been an extremely clean game both ways.
Yeah.
So, Bill, you're the soccer expert up here. So, in previous games, what I would say is Hayden Yarros has been playing up top, if you will, and now he is
fading to the outside.
Yeah. So what would be what thought process? Why?
Well, you know, the only thing I can think that coach saw was the first couple of runs that Hayden took with the ball, he was dragging 4 defenders with him. If you drag 4 defenders, let's get them to the outside and drag those defenders to the outside so we can attack that middle. You know, just like with a lot of other sports, sometimes our best player is so scouted and so keyed up on and man marked that you want to use him as a decoy.
Yep, absolutely.
And see if somebody else can win you that game.
And I'm sure that's absolutely correct, knowing that we were going to be shorthanded, and Hayden had 2 goals the other night too, and they're probably thinking, you know.
But also Hayden has a great, tremendous right foot, bending into the left, and from that left wing there, he can attack the goal pretty well.
Yarros has 28 goals on the season.
Wow.
Next up is Ethan Brown with 11 and Abe Fry with 11.
I tell you, he would have just taken those. Some of these guys would have just ripped those record books in half if it had been a full regular season maskless.
It would have been amazing to watch a regular season with this type of talent, and it's going to be amazing to watch next year. You know, the future is bright for Sailor soccer. What's interesting to me, guys, is I wonder, you know, some of these northern teams being, with the governor's orders being opened up so early, I wonder if we're going to see a theme of a lot of deep running northern teams this year. Could be.
Simply because they had more training ability, more togetherness.
Stuff, yep. .619 and counting here in the first half. Sailors still working to get that ball back and get it in the net.
I'll take a look and see if I can find it, but in other action tonight, Spring Lake's playing in Division II. Shelby and Oak Ridge are playing against one another, and West Michigan Christian is still in it too. So there's some Muskegon area teams alive and well here in the soccer tournament.
I think Christian may have lost their last game.
Did they?
But I don't want to be wrong, so I'm not going to say it.
No.
This is going to be dangerous.
Yep, and look at the TC guys coming in.
Yep.
They're on the attack. He's dancing on the outside, looking for some distribution, and knocked away.
Good defense by the Sailors.
Well cleared out, but this is going to be a dangerous corner kick here. The TC is extremely tall. They're very powerful leg on a lot of players. This is probably going to be a low-driven corner to the far post. Far post or penalty stripe, I say. Or they might just kill some time. Let's see. Yep. Penalty stripe. Oh. Shore's trying to clear zone. TC whacking at it with everything they can, and another corner coming up.
Keegan went after that, got caught out a little bit, and then defense had to recover for him a bit.
You like that, guys? If you give 3 different options for a corner kick, you're normally right, you know?
Yeah. That makes you the most accurate broadcaster ever there, Bill.
I'm like a weatherman. I just have to be a little right.
Yeah. Might rain, it might not.
Oh, powerful header. What a goal line clearance.
Who was that? Well, I tell you
Hard
what,
to tell from here.
they're coming hard, aren't they?
I think that's number 3, is it?
Gavin Cheatham.
He's wearing my old number 2. That makes me proud.
Wow, what a stop there.
Yep, I just did. Thank you for the feedback. We are turning our broadcast up just a little bit.
Oh, nice save. Number 3 for life, Billy.
Win it. Got to win these.
At the moment, TC,
hit
There
it.
we go. No, it's a good clear.
TC is attacking those balls in the air a lot harder than we are. We're going to have to change that around at halftime. Guys, you watch. Our team is young, inexperienced. Halftime could sort out a lot of things here.
Sure. And that's what a good coach like Apostle does, is he settles them back down, gives them a little perspective, and makes them play to their strengths.
Well, Mike is a wonderful tactician. coached under one of the greats, Jeremy Leffering. Oh, this is a dangerous ball. I think he's onside too.
Nope, they're going to
Nope,
call
offside.
offside. Wow,
Goodness
that was
me.
a good thing, too.
What a good ball, though. Wow.
That was well slotted.
And it's almost like a stranglehold. They've got a stranglehold on both ends of the field. You know, the midfield is almost no man's land for Sailors right now, and they're playing for their life on defense, and they're hardly getting anything on offense. Very few shots.
Another good ball in here, but Keegan will eat that up.
Yep.
No, but guys, I'm telling you, the nerves are not there for TC. Well, the nerves are just, I'm sure, tremendous for Mona Shores,
Yep.
being the farthest that they've ever been in team history.
Yep.
And with TC having their entire team returning from last year's title run.
Yeah.
TC lost nobody on there from last year?
Well, I'm sure they lost somebody, but
A majority of the people?
Steve will know.
No, I don't know. Yes, man. Let me look. No, I don't know that.
If there's any TC fans watching on Sailor Network, let us know how many seniors they graduated
How many
last
seniors
year.
did they graduate? Have any Traverse City West fans joining us for this broadcast? The John Vandervelde of Nexus Realty broadcast booth, thank you for joining us. And if you do have that information, we'd love to see it and hear it.
Minute 20 left in the half.
Sailors desperate to get one before half.
Yeah, but you know what, guys? It's a shame there's only a minute left in the half because they're finally settling in. They look a lot more settled
That could
offensively when they have the ball. They're not as many turnovers.
6
hopefully-
defenders back for Traverse City West there. Oh boy.
Man, David McNiff has some serious wheels. Talked to his dad today when he ordered a sub sandwich for lunch.
Oh, and I talked to Dave Sr. before the game.
We've mentioned McNiff on a couple of different broadcasts where he plays such critical roles at critical times on this all season long. you
Oh,
know.
definitely a unsung hero. 5 seconds left here.
And that is the end of the first half of soccer here at Grand Ledge. Your Sailors taking a little bit of a beating, 3-0 against Traverse City West. We're going to take a little bit of a break. It's about a 10-minute halftime here, and we're going to get started after that with the second half of play. So take a little break. Go get yourself something to eat, a little something to drink. Be right back because we'll get started once they do.
All the protection you need, nothing you don't. At Lake Michigan Insurance Agency, save on the insurance you need and stop paying for the insurance you don't need. Trust our experts to find the perfect amount of coverage for you, making sure you're covered when you need it and how you need it. But the savings don't stop there. We also shop over 16 insurance providers, industry leaders like Citizens and Frankenmuth Insurance, to make sure you get the highest quality coverage at the lowest possible rate. In Muskegon County, trust Ryan Rozecki to start a quote for you today. Visit Ryan at our Norton Avenue office in the Park Place Shopping Center near Goodwill and Pints and Courts Restaurant, or visit lmc.org/insurance to get started.
Looking to buy or sell? Look no further than our broadcast booth sponsor, John Vandervelde at Nexus Realty. Give him a call at 231-759-3634 or go see him at 880 West Broadway Avenue in Muskegon. Nexus Realty, team-based real estate professionals.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Sailor fans, here we are, second half, and we've got to pull a Herculean comeback here. Down 3-0 here at the regional finals for varsity soccer at Grand Ledge High School. And this is a solid team, guys. This Traverse City West team is here to play. And if you're Coach Apostle, Steve, what do you think he said? What do you think he said at that halftime? What do you think it was that he fired him up with?
I think he said that we definitely did not play the best half that we've played all season. Lots of room for improvement. You have one half left. You have nothing to hold back. Go out and play like there's no tomorrow. And you just go, and whatever happens is going to happen. I mean, that's just what it is. But you got to go out, and you got to take advantage of opportunities. You can't have any more missed opportunities. You got to take advantage of it and just play your heart out and hope it flips it.
Billy, you concur? I mean, what else do you think he might have added in there?
No, yeah, I would concur with Steve. You know, they've already made the city proud. They've already gone farther than any Mona Shores team. But you have one of the most dynamic goal scorers in the state. You have one of the best keepers in the state. You have, down a few starters, but it's still anything is possible here. Anything is wide open. 3-0, not insurmountable.
No, it's not. And again, we were talking during the break. If they can score 3, we can score 3. But
Joe, if they score 1, if they score 2, you might see a major momentum shift.
That's right.
And then it's really on.
Yep, and you take down a giant one goal at a time, and that's what we're looking at here. We are definitely in the final rounds of a prize heavyweight fight here at the regionals at Grand Ledge. And Sailor Nation Sports Network, we are happy to be here at the John Vandervelde and Nexus Realty broadcast booth, being able to bring this to you live on this Thursday evening. We've had a busy week. Steve, you were you were broadcasting volleyball on Tuesday. You were able to bring the varsity volleyball game. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's just to talk about what you're saying. So I was doing the math on my fingers on the way here. So counting Saturday, Sailor Nation has broadcast 4 times in the past 6 days, which is pretty cool.
That's true. Yeah.
So volleyball, awesome. Kathy Hellman, we talked about that earlier and what she's done with the volleyball team, but they really took it to Reese Puffer and clinched the OK Green tournament as well as the OK Green regular season championship. They play Monday against Grand Haven at Grand Haven in the first round of districts. Seems like we always draw Grand Haven in the first round of volleyball districts, and it seems like it's always at Grand Haven. We should talk to Todd about that. But that will be a fun game. Kathy, and so that will be a good one.
Yes, it will. And last night I had the opportunity, a little bit of near and dear to my heart. We turned into Sailor Nation Arts Network last night and was able to broadcast the Mona Shores Orchestra Spooktacular concert.
Oh, that's great.
You guys might not know this, but I was in the orchestra from 5th grade on all the way through.
Really?
So that was good. Noah as well, one of our crew. He was the first chair cellos. My daughter Isla is also in the orchestra. She's a freshman. And then tomorrow we'll be at home. Sailor Stadium, where the Sailor football team, first round of the playoffs, takes on Wyoming. But right now, we are inside that 40-minute mark left of this game. Second half play here at Grand Ledge, and we are underway.
And if we're looking at, I don't know if probably Kevin can't get a shot right now because we're down on offense, but Yaros is down on this side, the opposite side of the field. And number 11 for, and I'm not Berger, I think, is just marking Hayden Yaros and will not leave him. And that's what Hayden's been exposed to all night long.
They've got to figure out a way to either take advantage of that extra coverage that he's drawing or break him off. Some way or another, we've got to be able to get some of these high-profile scorers for the Shores.
Dangerous here.
Good play by Keegan.
You know, to kind of use a basketball term, really they're doing a box and one on Hayden Yaros. Wherever he goes, 11 is going. He is tailing him no matter where Hayden's going. So that makes it difficult.
Sailors defeating Holt on Tuesday. Was it correct? It was
Yeah, Holt.
Yep.
3-2. Those that were just joining us and didn't happen to catch any of that last game, a come from behind win late in the second half of play for the Sailors.
And a dramatic finish.
Oh.
Dramatic finish. There was a shot right at the horn. And I tell you, half a second more and it would have been a different game. It would have been a tie game. But kudos to them. We talked about it earlier. A lot of the veteran seniors out of commission due to COVID protocols, and some JV pulled back up. It was a true next man up type of a situation, and they stepped up to the game. That was including the goalie.
Yeah. And the goalie key right there on a very long Traverse City West throw-in. They are dangerous from those throw-ins. They have some very long throwers.
They do. They can. Jacob
like
Gravelin, who's out for us tonight, but he can really throw the ball too. But I noticed that tonight too.
Dangerous ball here.
Oh boy.
Got to clear that ball. Just too dangerous. Too dangerous.
Can't let it float out there. That's for sure.
Now Shores has the added difficulty of finding the will to rise above this. That's a little bit deflating to the boys.
Yeah. It starts to get a huge pile on of stress here with this, that's for sure.
They need to find something to spark them. You know, it doesn't even have to be a goal. It could be a big play or, dare I say, a legal big collision that goes our way.
Yeah. Key being legal.
Legal, absolutely.
You don't want to have anybody
with no injuries.
Yeah, no injuries and key legal.
But something to spark the team.
Something that shows that we are still alive and have a pulse. And this team does. There's no quitting these guys, even down 4-0. They're going to play all the way through. There's no doubt in my mind.
Ackerman with the throw in. Zambrano controls. Looking for a pass. Now look at how Traverse City's all over him when he has the ball. We haven't been doing that so much.
Suffocating.
We've been allowing them room to operate. And operate they have. That's good defense. Brown looking to deal. Traverse City throw in.
Go back to your keys to the game, Steve. What are we seeing from each one of these teams that's working and not?
Well, for Mona Shores, the two keys were I said get up early and build some confidence. We're yet to get on the scoreboard and control the midfield. And you know, Bill, you could speak to that more than I, but
they haven't.
They haven't. And for Traverse City, you know, play their game, their offensive-minded game, and there's no question they have. And I said to test Mona Shore's defense and early, and they certainly did with 4 goals in the first half. So.
Coach Apostle's throwing a lot of guys forward here for this corner kick. Yaros on the kick. Great kicking through the penalty stripe. Traverse City having a hard time clearing zone. See, Shores has to step on that and lock him.
They do.
They allow him out too easily.
Yeah. They got to keep that pressure on him. You're inside that shot zone.
Uh-oh, here comes the shot. See, even there, guys, a lot of room for him to turn, look at the goal. He still has seconds to think about it and shoot.
Gotta be on him, get in his face.
Our boys are a little timid. The weight of the situation, you know, might be getting to them a bit.
And you think about it too, you know, emotionally, winning districts, having the big win the other night, you know, we've all played sports here. Though you can get drained emotionally. There's no doubt about it. And then you go into school and hey, great job, and that's all you're thinking about. And then you get on the field and sometimes, you know, it's not necessarily always physically, you know, drained. It can be emotionally or mentally.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know, Steve, with this year, were they even at school in between games? Like, they go some days and then some days they don't.
Half of them were there. Well, yesterday, no. And then today, half of them would have been in school. Good point.
Free kick from Mona Shores coming up here around half field. Shores is going to have to start gambling. Down 4 goals, they're going to have to start throwing more people forward. There's no reason to have 3 back right now.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. Obviously, if you give up another goal, if it's 5-0 or 4-0, you still have a hole to crawl out of. You've got to get those shots on goal. You've got to put that offensive pressure.
If you see the far side of the field here, you'll see one of our guys wide open on that side. He can really do some damage if we can hit him. But I think Yarros is looking at the 18-yard line, and he is. Nice flick on. Nothing doing there, though. And a TC clears out.
33:08 and counting down here at Grand Ledge. 4-0 TC West on top of the Sailors. About 150 people joining us tonight. I'd like to thank everybody out there in Sailor Nation Sports Land from both the Sailors and Traverse City West.
Jordan DeKuyper with a heck of a performance right there. And fouled. I saw Jordan in the number 5, Luke Boltema, had some words at half field just before that play. I wonder if that had anything to do with it. Again, the far side of the field wide open, if we can see it, but we're not. We're jamming it right down the middle into 3 or 4, 5, 6 TC players.
As quick as they've been able to close up that midfield, do you think getting it over there, especially when you're shooting from this side, if we even attempted that, do you think that they'd suffocate that right back down?
They might all shift that way, but that's good. Then you pop it the other way. But we can open them up. We can open up the field.
It feels like we've been a one-sided team tonight.
Yeah.
Sure. By that I mean we haven't.
But guys, Yarros is dangerous here. Powerful enough, but he didn't get over it.
Little float.
31:46 left here. Still enough time. Believe.
One goal at a time. And we got to get that first one. Get rid of that goose egg. Something to build on. During the break, one of the viewers on the YouTube side of it, we were talking about how many graduated seniors there were. We didn't get that, but we certainly did find out that the Traverse City roster only has 2 freshmen. The rest are all juniors and seniors, so it's a lot of veteran play, a lot of senior-heavy experience that we mentioned they were state runners-up, and this is not an unfamiliar place for them to be in. So definitely plays into the success of this team so far, it looks like.
Yeah, and I can tell you as a former state runner-up myself, that you're very hungry after you lose the state championship.
Get that close and not get it. Yep,
yeah,
sure.
That puts a hunger in you that you can't replace or practice or mimic in any way.
12 seniors for Traverse City West.
Wow. And it seems as though they have a very talent-heavy team. It's not just 2 or 3 players that are covering the rest of the team and carrying them. They are all extremely well coached, well conditioned, ready to go.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, guys, thus far, from what I've seen from Traverse City West, quality team, quality coaching, nothing to complain about as an opponent. They've been very, very fair and clean.
Very disciplined. That's my takeaway tonight.
Dangerous ball in here. We have to clear. Corner kick coming up. Maybe not. Goal kick called. Traverse City West players down. Clock stops.
That looks like he's got a shoe that came off.
Now, something with the last game, a lot of people were asking is, in all of soccer, basically, except for MHSAA, only the referee has the official time down on his watch. In MHSAA, the referee asked the clock to be stopped at injuries and stoppages, and the official time is on the scoreboard.
So there is no extra time built in like you see everywhere else.
No.
If you're watching any of the
There is if it's tied, then we go to extra time, but there's no stoppage time, what they would call it.
Right.
Once that horn blows, that horn blows. And if you need any evidence of that, you look at the last game.
Yep. Yeah. Thank goodness for no stoppage time on that one.
You know, hats off to the refs for getting that call right. Oh my goodness.
Well, thanks to Lee Eckerman and the broadcast that we have, I was able to watch that, and they did make the right call. It did not cross that goal line.
Let me tell you something. I was so thankful of Lee Eckerman for that. I told her she gets a free pizza. Lee, you come see me, and you get a free pizza whenever you come.
I was going to contact her, see if she wanted us to go down and do some sideline reporting while we were up here tonight.
I thought maybe we should have interviewed her at halftime.
That would have been great. That would have been great. Lee, next year, or next game if we get into this one, but we'll definitely have to do some.
And I'll tell you what, Lee's kid is a fantastic player.
Still adding people to our group watching this Sailors soccer game here against Traverse City West. 4-0 if you're just joining us. Traverse City in a commanding lead second half of the game with 28:06 left here. Sailors trying to get this ball down in and get some offense working for them.
And all 4 goals coming in the first half. In case you're just joining us.
All 4 goals for Traverse City first half. Yeah, I've noticed when Traverse City controls, they spend very little time in the midfield.
Yeah.
Very little at all. It's forcing all of our attention to close, dangerous positioning right in front of Keegan, almost the entire time.
They're passing through the midfield really quickly, and I'll tell you what, number 10, Colin Blackport for TCW has been having a terrific game.
Starting to rain outside too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Now watch for the ball to skip a little on this turf if the rain is coming down. And watch for those long shots. It become much more dangerous. Ethan Brown trying to charge forward with the Sailors. Sailors trying to mount an attack, but they only have 3 forward against 5-6 TC players. Overlap coming. McNiff on the outside looking, searching. Turnover.
Yep, turnover. Looks like we got just a mild little sprinkles starting to move into the area. Shouldn't be much of an effect.
What Shores needs more than anything is for their off-the-ball players to become open, to run to the open spot. Get open for your teammate. They're standing a bit.
Yeah, a little more dynamics to the movement.
Well, when you have the ball and you're charging up the field, you lift up your head and there's no help. There's not much you can do. Zan Brown now dancing.
Here we go. Here we go.
Brown through. Brown charging all the way. Tripped. Tripped on the top of the 18.
Yep. So that's going to be a penalty.
Is this the spark, Kanukin? But in himself.
We just lost our feet. Oh, there.
DeKuyper on the goal kick to DeKuyper.
That sounds great, doesn't it?
Look at him put it outside. Mr. McNiff. Look at now the Shores is playing with a bit of more spark here. If they can keep some momentum going. Now quickly they're closing down their marks. Not allowing all that room to maneuver. Gotta step, boys.
25:02 left. Plenty of time here. 4-1. Looking to use that spark from the penalty kick.
Traverse City West building something here. Still building. Corner kick to ensue. And you'll see Traverse City West start subbing here.
No, you had mentioned that Traverse City West easily could just pull everything back in an attempt to defend. We haven't really seen that yet. They're still keeping that pedal straight on to get some additional
We have seen a little bit of adjustment, though, in the back, Joe, on Hayden. I mean, if you could see Hayden Yaros right now, he's got 2 guys within 6 inches from him. And I'll tell you what, they're going to start subbing now to slow down the game a little bit, I believe. That's not totally evident yet, but that would have been my tactic if I was up with 3-4-1.
Sure. Yep.
Yarros with a quick start to Mr. McNiff. Not sure what's... Oh, retaking the kick.
Tell you what, not only is it raining out, but there's quite a wind. It's chilly outside.
You know, I don't know if with these turf fields being more common, if it's different than when I played. But when I played on these multi-line fields, it was always difficult. Sometimes you're only looking down for a split second at the ground, and you see some white line, which you're used to, and that's not out of bounds.
You can see the ball skipping a little bit there.
We do see some more urgency out of Mona Shores now, though, for sure.
Well, that urgency is warranted, especially with only 23 minutes and 41 seconds left. This is it for this is the final round. We got to make that KO punch if we're going to do it.
Dangerous ball. Well dealt with. Player down on the far side for Mona Shores.
Down and not moving. Did not see exactly what happened there.
Can anybody see who it is?
No.
No, he's getting up now. Sounds like it's number 3.
Number 3.
Gavin Cheatham.
Gavin's had a great game today, actually. He's been giving a lot of his heart.
Good to see Gavin be able to get up. Looks like he's going to be okay.
And again, in normal soccer, the clock would continue moving on these injuries, and the referee would have the official. And I don't know why a yellow card is coming out here. Maybe he had words with whoever he collided with.
Or the referee, maybe.
Yeah. Bit of frustration setting in, down 4-1.
Yeah, and you know, not surprising. Obviously, this team has been, you know, pumped high on energy, win Tuesday, and you know, wanting to at least come in and make this a game and take this regional finals, and we're struggling here. 4-1, 23 minutes left here, 23-20 and counting.
But Canuck, they've looked a lot better the last 8 minutes.
Second half, they've definitely improved. That is for sure. We mentioned it at the beginning, or at the very end of the first half, as they were starting to get a little bit of a groove.
One more goal here will completely change the dynamic of this game, even though they're still down 2. Traverse City West will say, hey, what is going on here? And it'll give Shores the belief they need. Shores knocking it around in the back. McNiff well passing. Brown looking to switch field. Jacob Saxon. Oh, touch foul on the weak side. Again, now, guys, we see TC kind of shifting over to the strong side where the ball is. Weak side has some opening. Jordan DeKuyper's in a threatening position. Ball lofted up. A lot of TC players around it. Shores has to challenge for that ball.
Oh, man, so close.
Almost fell right to his foot. DeKuyper came out, but thought better of it now. Dribbled out of bounds for a goal kick.
Good hustle by Saxton to get back there.
Unforced turnover there. A little bit of miscommunication. It's been such a joy to watch Ethan Brown and Alex Ackerman in the midfield. The passion and heart that those guys show is immense.
Nice stop by Keegan, got to clear out.
That was his little zipper on the ground there.
Sure.
Bill, you could speak to this. It's kind of an unsung position, right? I mean, they're not scoring a lot of goals, but they're so key to what Mona Shores wants to do.
And you'll see those guys, they pile up the assists. And if soccer were to take into account hockey assists, the second pass or whatever it is, they'd probably have 100.
I mean, you think about what the midfield is responsible for. They are
everything.
They're responsible for everything. But you think about it from the success either on the defensive or offensive side of the field. They're that first line of defense. They're slowing it down to let that defense put themselves in the best position to stop it. They're also the ones feeding all of those people forward that are going to get those goals. So you take away a midfield and the success of that, and really you don't have very much success on either end of that soccer field.
Midfield crucial. The Kuiper couldn't handle the ball as it came in skipping on that wet turf. Out for a corner kick. You look. Let's see. TC might waste time here, just by giving a light touch there and shielding the ball. But they haven't seemed like the type of team to want to waste time, just because they're up. They want more.
Yeah, they really haven't let off the gas at all, do they?
Zambrano clearing the ball. Now Hayden Yaros facing 3 defenders.
Yep, 3 back.
Good push, but way too far.
3 back and 1 constantly marking Yaros.
Nice. And they're getting a little slippage there on this wet turf now. Looks like we got about 164 people that are joining us between the 2 streams. I'd like to thank all of you, both Sailor fans and the Traverse City West that may be joining us for this broadcast. It has been electric per se, but not the way that we wanted. 4-1 here currently, Traverse City West up. If you're a Traverse City West fan, you are super happy. We are looking at about 18, a little under 19 minutes left here, counting down in the second half. And daylight setting here. We've got to do something fast in this twilight.
But a Yaros free kick about 35 yards out of the goal. Look for people to crash here, especially if he puts it on frame.
Get that rebound?
Yeah. If I was Shores, I'd be throwing a couple more forward. Why not?
They're looking for a redirect.
Unlucky. Offside is the call on the attempted counterattack. Again, though, Traverse City marching through the midfield in a matter of seconds. Shores looking to probe that goal box, see if they can find a weakness. But Traverse City's pressure is extremely high.
They are just not. It's suffocating. It's really the best word I can come up with. They've been suffocating, both individually, like right on, individuals, as well as collectively from a midfield and defensive position.
And yet they're still able to get some offensive opportunities.
Yeah.
A bit of a dive there. I don't actually know I don't think that was an intentional dive, but not much of a trip either.
I've seen a lot of sliding out there with that little bit of moisture that's on the field.
Jordan DeKuyper looking to loft it over to Zambrano. Zambrano might be in. He's got 3-4 Traverse City guys on him, but he's still on the ball.
Yeah.
Double sombrero, still on the ball.
Got to take that. Got to win it first.
This is the stage in the game where everybody has to be throwing forward now.
Yep. Don't let that out. Put that pressure on offensively.
Very composed, Traverse City, very composed.
Yeah, and, obviously we're looking at a game that's inside of 17 minutes left here. It's a tall order to ask of Sailors. We'll hope that they do, but assuming Traverse City goes on, they're going to be a tough opponent for anybody that they face continuing on into the state playoffs. We're going to hope that it's still the Sailors, but it's, again, a tall order still, 4-1 here with just under 16 minutes left here in the second half.
You know, and going back to the opening, 17th ranked team in the nation.
Oh, they're the real deal. But guess what? I still believe.
Oh, I'll believe until the whistle.
I am too.
Now Shores has 3-4 back against 2. We need to get more forward here, especially with this throw. And there's no reason to gamble.
Throw them all up there.
Yeah, get them up. Leave
that
one
pressure
back.
on.
You know.
It forces their hand to equal it out, and that's where you're going to get the opportunities to have more. Is to have more, legs up there to make something happen.
Yeah, nobody wants to give up another goal, but at this point you have to.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to
more
score.
Forward.
That's right. You have to get those scores on the board.
Press him. Brown, as he's charging up the right side, can't find a pass, but it's ricocheting to Zambrano. Zambrano controlling.
Nice.
Unable to control all the way through, and it's back for a Mona Shores throw in.
Now you're starting to see a little bit of that. We're just going to dump.
Urgency.
Dump and chase. The urgency is all on Mona Shores from Traverse City. Yeah, you're just seeing just press back, keep the defense up. You look at right now on the field, everybody's dropped back. You've got one guy forward.
Yep.
That's it. So, you're inside of 14 minutes. You're at 14 minutes exactly here. That's what I'd be doing if I were Traverse City as well.
And this guy up front for Traverse City is doing really well to chase down the ball and get forward on it alone.
Oh, good job, Jordan to Kuiper.
Jordan DeKuyper is a heck of a player for and I can't wait to see him next year.
Jordan is a tremendous athlete.
In the attacking third now, can they chase down the ball? Oh, ball controlled by Traverse City West.
What
Looking
a
for
feed.
the slot.
Oh, man, I thought that was fed through.
Watch out for that far side, number 13.
Nice stop by Keegan. Let's take a look at that. We haven't had a whole lot of instant replays that we've thrown up there, but this is a nice stop by Keegan.
And for Keegan and Ethan Brown coming back from that quarantine, I mean, their nerves must have been pretty high before this game. They hadn't been to practice the day before. They were coming in essentially after missing, 3-4 days of any kind of soccer activity.
Right. Yep.
Good clearance by DeKuyper.
Now keep it going.
Coming up on 12 minutes left in the half in the game.
We've talked about throwing everything but the kitchen sink up there on the offensive, midfield offensive side of the ball. Anything inside 12 minutes when you're in this type of predicament that you can do, tactically, is there anything else that you can do? Right now, you hope that the heart is what, plays through throwing the kitchen sink at them. Is there anything else to throw at them that you can think of from your perspective?
And I think we're going to see a yellow card here. But, yeah, right now with Traverse City West playing such a defensive position, it should allow you a little bit more time to operate through the midfield, a little bit more time to dissect them in your defending third and your middle third.
Sure.
But, yeah, you have to throw everybody forward. And Traverse City West is parking the bus.
Yep. And right now it is a big bus that they're parking in front of it.
And really, Shores needs to find any way to shoot on goal. They need shots on goal, and they need to hope for either a directly in the goal or some sort of rebound.
Got a shout out from Mr. Tim Fry to us in the booth.
I think that's directed to Bill and his soccer now.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
sure.
I would say too. Again, here we go. This is a little bit of a press. Control. That would
Unlucky,
have been
but
a
we
nice,
still have it.
yeah.
Eckerman cleaning it up, as always. Looking for
outside.
McNiff on the outside.
Good cross here would be nice.
Eckerman, McNiff. McNiff, Eckerman. Probing, looking, searching.
Good control. This is exactly what we're talking about. This is almost like the power play in hockey. You've almost got to keep it like that.
I'm sorry, that's Vanderplug out there with him, right? On that play.
Yep, it is.
Eckerman looking to deal. 5 guys around him, though, difficult.
They cleared it up.
The Kuiper steps up, bounces it off the TC West player.
Oh,
wow.
Give it to TC.
Huh?
Alex Eckerman and Traverse City West player got tangled up. It was definitely an accident, but.
Oh, he called the foul back there, eh?
Yes. Yep. And it didn't really affect the play either.
The refs have been pretty on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
No complaints there.
Uh-oh.
Clean there. Oh, my goodness. Curse of the
Unhappy
broadcaster
fans
there.
here.
Curse of
Yeah.
the broadcaster. But I thought that was all ball.
Jeff Leffering, a little shout out there. Great commentary for you, Billy.
Oh, jeez. I tell you what, TC West has all 3 of the guys standing over the ball right now have absolute cannons in their legs.
Now, you talked about them shooting lasers.
Yeah, well, watch this, boys. This is going to be a hard laser, but looks like Keegan DeKuyper has his wall where he wants it. High.
Sailed a little bit on him, I think.
You can see in the form there on the kick, if they lean back, she's going high.
9:28 ticking down. We're under that 10-minute mark, critical 10-minute mark. Sailors trailing 4-1.
Jordan DeKuyper looking for a run here. And we have a foul back around the 30 football yard line there. For any of you soccer guys watching that wondered about that goal kick, the new rule, you can kick it to your teammate inside the goal box this year. McNiff on a run.
Good push.
We're seeing some brilliant little runs individually and a lot of fouls stopping up the game. The brilliant little runs need to find a pass on the other end of them, though, to open up the play. TC West guys just converge on the run. Yaros is going to look to throw this towards the goal, get it in the mixer. It's up to Shores to crash. Little floater, not quite getting over the TC West defense. Eckerman chasing. Lienhout's taking care of it. Shores throw in. 8:20 left in the game. Shores is down 4-1. But still showing a lot of heart and a lot of hustle in this game. Costly turnover here in the defending third. Unlucky.
City West goal by number 13, Tony Gallegos.
Against a team like this, if you have a turnover like that, they're going to make you pay.
Yeah, and you have no room for error against a TC West team like this. It just they'll take advantage of it, and I think that's proof of their talent on the field, where they've come from. The runner-up last year. I mean, they're all 8 cylinders are firing right now. That's for sure.
And I think you're going to see some more goals scored this game, one way or the other, because Shores is going to start to throw everybody forward now, leaving their defense vulnerable, but trying to get anything they can to get a goal in this goal here.
And in Traverse City West, to their credit, they're on a mission this year. They, made it to the overtime shootout last year in the finals and lost. So, you know what their goal was from day one when they stepped on the soccer field. and that was to get back to the state championship and win it.
$7:19 ticking down.
Back when Traverse City was one school, I want to say 1994, Shores had a big win over them 2-1. Thanks to a Matt Livers who marked Traverse City had the captain of the U17 national team that year.
No kidding. You know, this is why we have you here, Bill, is the information that you have and the history of the teams, not only Mona Shores, but even the Traverse City stuff and some of these other powerhouses, the perennial powerhouses that we've talked about, that have been in the history books for the Sailors as well.
Well, listen, I did my homework because, with as much as you guys are paying me, I have to come with it. I have to absolutely come with it.
You know what? We're going to pay you double tonight for the work that you've been doing.
Okay, that's good. I need a new pair of shoes.
We're going to pay you double.
Before time slips away, and I'm not saying the fat lady's singing yet, but I want to give a shout out to the seniors on the soccer team from Mona Shores.
Yep.
Keegan DeKuyper, David McNiff, Ethan Brown, Aiden Anderson, Joshua Breen, Luis Zambrano, and Hayden Yaros. I mean, when you look back in history, those are the kids that they're going to point to as took Mona Shores soccer to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. Special group of players.
Without question. And from my perspective, I was not a soccer player. I had a lot of friends that were soccer players in high school. Lacrosse here, looking for something action. A little floater up there. I knew that was good. I was not. So coming in here and being just a natural. I'm a fan of sports. I'm a fan of good competition. And this team right here has given me something to really be proud of being a Sailor alum. Even though I wasn't involved in soccer, I coached it when my kids were little. Actually, Breen was one of the kids that I coached.
Oh, nice.
So his dad reached out on Facebook, says, you got to be pretty proud that some of these kids are from your little pee-wee soccer stuff, and I certainly am. So, but the fans have been fantastic. To see on here on Sailor Nation Sports Network and in the stands at the stadium, at Sailor Stadium, soccer stadium, just fantastic. And I'll tell you what, the Sailor soccer program is in good hands, and it's going all in the right direction. That is for certain.
I also want to give a shout out to Coach Apostle, and between the Facebook live streams we've done, between the coverage like this of the broadcasts. Whenever I've asked him for an interview or statistics, he is so accommodating, and it's those types of things. They speak volumes about the program and just what kind of person he is, and the kind of person that's leading these kids. And
he's a fantastic leader.
And as we all know, sports is sports, but you're really coaching kids to become better people.
Great humans. Yep, great humans.
So while we've got a minute and we're giving shout-outs, I want to give a shout-out to the two of you guys. You mean so much to the Sailor Nation these days, what you've been doing. I mean, especially through COVID with a lot of people unable to get out of their houses and go see all these games and attendance limited. And I watch you sometimes from my house, and I thank my lucky stars that somebody's doing this for us. And the work that goes in, the preparation that goes in. For those of you at home, I mean, Joe was here an hour before the game setting up. Steve, he's going from one sport to the other and doing things out of his cell phone if he needs to. Anything that needs to get done, these guys get it done for us, and we are so lucky to have them.
Oh, we appreciate that, Bill. It's kind words. And, I got to go. We mentioned it at the end of the broadcast, the last football game. This doesn't happen unless it's an entire crew. I mean, we could sit here and talk all day long. But
I'm sorry. Kimon Kodos.
If we didn't have people, Kimon has been an original of the Sailor Nation Sports Network from the beginning, before it was ever even Sailor Nation Sports Network. And, adding, the student involvement, Noah originally when he was in, then Connor ended up joining. They've stuck around and been a part of this group as we've been going on, and now Johnny last year and then again this year as a senior. It has been a pleasure because of the work that this crew can do collectively. And it also, I'll tell you what, Bill, you and some of the other guest commentators.
Keep your head the ball. Keep your head the ball.
You and some of the other guest commentators that we've had for various different sports have been incredible to have. You make these broadcasts, and I speak to you, and we've had it in swimming, we've had it in competitive cheer, we've had it in wrestling. It's other people that could come in and provide the depth that you do. And thank you for the couple of broadcasts that you've been willing to come.
Oh, my pleasure, my absolute pleasure.
This has been fun. It's really, really fun.
As soon as Joe let us know that we were looking into it and just finding out the logistics from Todd Conrad and whether we could get here, I'm like, and he already had, but I'm like,
I was
get
already
Bill.
on you.
And he already wasn't, but I'm like, get Bill.
But I'll tell you what, unsung hero behind the camera, I can't believe I forgot to mention Kimo Kodos, and he's in the middle of a campaign.
He's out in the cold, man.
Yeah. And we haven't mentioned Nick. Nick, I tell you what, he is like, I'll tell you, he is glued to this whole organization as well. We miss not having Nick here. He's, like I said, he's on some football duties. He almost you'll like this, Bill. He called me yesterday. He said, I feel guilty. I should be there. The soccer team is making history. I said, well, it's okay. I mean, if you got football stuff to do, Bill Malasieros is going to come. Oh, well, I don't need to do it then. Bill's got this.
So, I was going to say that we have a Greek quota of 2, and with me and Kimon, that's enough.
So, yes, a shout out to Nick as well. We miss him being here with us anytime that he's not. This has been a great broadcast, and it will continue. Even though we're inside under 2 minutes now, and it's 5-1, looking pretty dismal for a comeback. But kudos to this team.
Yeah, and Sailor Nation needs to know that their team, is really leaving it all on the field. They're playing with heart, and we should be nothing but proud of this team. Absolutely, all the way.
And for me, as obviously I'm up here announcing, but my son Owen's in 11th grade, and he has played with these kids. He knows these kids. They're friends of his. It makes me proud. It makes me feel great. It's so special for me to have been a part and watch this and what these kids did, and they are such good kids too, and that's what makes it even better.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. We talked a little bit about, seeing some of these kids grow up. All 3 of my kids, all 4, and 4, including my stepdaughter, have all played soccer. I've had the pleasure of coaching and watching. Some of these kids have been part of that process. And to see them here, and this is a success. Even though there's a loss tonight, this was a success not only for this team, but for this program and for our school.
And gentlemen, I thank you for having me up here. This is where I take my leave, and I'm going to go join the team.
You go join the team, Bill. Thank you very much for joining us. Much appreciated. Always a pleasure. And we'll absolutely do this again next year for sure. So you in the booth. So here we are, Grand Ledge, and we finished up the regional finals for varsity soccer. Your Sailors fall to the Traverse City West Titans, 5-1. A big game. The Sailors were just outmatched by an incredible team, Traverse City West team. Still, this team needs to hold their head high to be able to be where they are. They went further than any other soccer team in school history, and that's something to be proud of. And I know the community is. I know Sailor Nation Sports Network is, and certainly us as a broadcast team. It's an honor and a pleasure to be able to be here to broadcast this team. So, Steve, any final words for our broadcast here tonight?
The kids are going to be dejected, but when they look back after tonight and realize what they've done, they're definitely going to look back down the road and have very fond memories, and as well they should. And I expect that we'll be back here in future years based on what precedent has been set this year.
Yeah, and I tell you, it's again, we definitely have to be proud of this team, and the future is so bright for Sailor soccer, with Coach Apostle and the crew that's coming up. Those that will be varsity again, those that are junior varsity that will be making their way up. It's going to be fantastic to be here next fall, hopefully pandemic-free, and be able to see some fans in the stands and regularity of sorts. it really will be nice to be able to see that. So I think, we'll close it out here because we got to make the hour-and-a-half trip back from Grand Ledge here and get ready for our broadcast tomorrow night from Sailors Stadium, where the Mona Shore Sailors varsity football takes on Wyoming in the first round of the playoffs. We will be there broadcasting live, and we hope that everyone out there will join us in that broadcast. Until then, for Mr. Steve DeLong, for Kim and Kodos, and myself, and the crew that isn't here, Connor, Johnny, Kim, and Noah, we thank you for joining us here at Sailor Nation Sports Network, and we look forward to our next broadcast coming tomorrow night. Have a great evening, everybody. Stay safe, stay warm, stay dry. See you tomorrow.
This is Sailor Nation Sports Network. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.